This is Manoj Kumar Singh. Hello, Manoj, how are you?
Namaste, Dominic. I am very good, and I'm very delighted to actually be here with you, and that you are going to help me spread the word out there. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're very, very welcome. I would just want to say to everybody that Manoj reached out to me and he said, "Yeah, I have a passion and I want to tell the world about it." So I'm like, "Okay, let's do it."
Yes, yes,
So you're in the central part of India, in the heart of India right now, yes?
yes. Madhya Pradesh. That's the heart. Madhya means to the center of the country.
Okay. All right. And I'm in Chicago. So we're like, I don't know, maybe 7,000 miles apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, connecting here on the internet.
So that is
And
the
technology is
yes,
great. So I want to
yes,
say to everyone who's watching
yes.
now, who will be watching later, welcome and thank you for being part of the
Yes.
Self Achievement Network. We are simply an opportunity. That's all we are for people to either discover, share, or evolve their passion. And so uh, there's people in the world that don't know what their passion is yet. And that's where I come in. I've got a program that's called Life Plan. It's one of our sub hubs. Oops, the other way. Okay. We've got a group. I keep going the wrong way. That logo up there, over there. Um,
Yes.
and I created this program called Person Behind the Passion to give people the opportunity to tell their story. So that's why I call this the person behind the passion, because I want people to understand that, even though you have a passion, there's a human being behind the passion. So this
Yes.
is like an introduction of our guest to tell our members who they are, where they're from, why they came up with their passion, and all this, the whole journey story, right? So then we've got these subgroups, these sub hubs on the outside where people can go and evolve their passion, right? There's no limitation on what they can do. So your passion, Manoj, is about helping people to find their inner power, their inner
Power.
strength,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that, and then we'll go back in time, and then you could tell us a little bit about your upbringing and things like that. So how did you come up with this passion? Was this something that just one day you woke up, boom, or there's a story behind it? Tell us the story.
There's a long story behind it because it is my journey. It is not a power in me. See, when I say I'm helping people to realize that is power within them, it is actually my realization that I realize there is a power within me. So if I am having the power, you sitting there in Chicago, Dominic, you also have a power within you. And before we went live, you told us your story. That was your power that you realized. The gift that every one of us, every individual is born with. What happens? There are three type of people. What I believe in the world. One who knows and has tapped into the gift they are born with and believe into that gift. Yeah, and the second ones are one who know that they are gifted, but they do not believe into those things and are fearful. And the third ones are they do not want to believe that they are having any power, or they just want to live the normal life that is as such that has been set, the social standard has been set, and they want to live a normal life. Okay, I'm happy with that. So they are those people who are fearful. They don't. They are even scared of getting success. So these people do not even strive for success in life. They are okay with what they are leading. They are satisfied with it. So for power in me, so for that I need to tell you something about me also. I hope you know about rare diseases. All over the world, there are around about 7,000 rare diseases in the world. And I am one of the patients of a rare bleeding disorder, hemophilia. That's a rare bleeding disorder.
I've
And
heard this.
I'm a severe form, yeah, I'm a severe form of hemophilia. In this, we suffer from spontaneous internal bleeds, joint muscles or tissue bleed, and let's say if any cut or anything happens, then the bleeding is for a longer time duration, and it doesn't clot that simply. So there are a lot more complication other than just the bleeding that is happening to the patient. But again, our society and where we are born, people are ignorant towards it, right? Even and the case is similar everywhere, whether it is developing country, underdeveloped, or the developed countries like USA. Also, people are suffering. People from the rare
Mm-hmm.
condition are suffering. They do not ask, or they have. It is not something that we have asked for. That give us this rare condition, and we are born with it, right? Something. Let's say you are in an ethnicity. If you are born there, or if something. Let's say your house is full with a lot of wealth and all those things. These are something that you get by birth. Similarly, rare diseases are also something that is given to a person, or the person gets it by birth. But again, that doesn't take away the gift that the person is born with.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we have in our society is the families suffer because there is knowledge about rare diseases, health conditions are an issue, financial conditions because of the health conditions are issue, education of the people with rare condition are issue. Again, if education is not given, how you are supposed to give them livelihood? And if livelihood is not possible, people
Mm-hmm.
will tag you that you are supposed to be dependent on those people who are normal, and taxpayer will say that you are eating our tax money, and government will say that we have to take into account those things. So politics comes into play. So there are a lot of things people are suffering. So being part of that community, I'm part of that community. I have seen it all. I was in class 8, half-yearly examinations were going on. I suffered from internal bleed. My parents did not know about it. It was, they said that it could be something like piles, because normal people have that thing. So, being a bleeding disorder patient, and I was still naive. See, I was a child, right? In class 8, I
Mm-hmm.
was around about 12 or 13 years old. So, wouldn't know much about it, the disease, and nor the societies or doctors knew much about it. So we had very little knowledge. I almost died that year. And then come up the 10th examination. We have board exams in India, and it is one of the main exams. So I had given my exams with some problem, and stress was there. But come up last two exams, mathematics and English were remaining. I suffered from a severe bleed in my left hip joint. So you said you had a problem with the spine area for which you had to go through operation. I suffered from
Yes.
that severe bleed in my hip joint, and I was bedridden. And I had two exams to be written. Otherwise, I would lose that one whole year. And my father had only enough uh, job left that I had calculated that after my 10th, 12th, and then my 5 years of master's, only that much was the job that was left for my father. I had calculated. So for me, the situation was very gloomy. I had to take the decision. I was in pain. I couldn't sit. I couldn't sleep. It was such a difficult time. And forget about reading and studying and go and give the exam. But I made the decision. I was told by my parents to skip that year and go for that next year. So, but I made my decision that I'll give the exam. I went on and gave my final two exams of my 10th board on wheelchair, popping up the painkiller. And that is how I gave. After that 4 months, I was on bed. I couldn't sit, I couldn't sleep. And
Right.
at home, it was very difficult because I was in one room, descend in a one room in my home, and my rest of my brothers and sisters, they were in the other rooms, and my parents were in the other rooms. So most of the time I was alone. So there is something you can understand that psychological impact also. And I was a child only. I wasn't too old. So
Yeah.
there,
That's very young.
I so for me it was difficult. I did not know that whether I'll be able to walk again. It was such a difficult time for me. but I never gave up. And during that 4 months time period, slowly I began to walk. We didn't have that walker, but we had that plastic chair, a small chair. I would put my body weight on the chair and walk and go to the toilet and bathroom. And that was slowly how I trained myself to walk again. It was as if a child is learning to walk again. This was my willpower that I could make out that, okay. And then I had lost the control in the left knee because the blood had filled and the nerves were covered by it, and so that's why there wasn't full control on the left knee. So sometimes I would fall because of the lack of the control in the knee. But again, I did not give up. 11th class came in, and it was just 1 month into the classes attending. I vomited blood, and I filled
Wow.
the whole trough in the hospital. Two times I completely filled it with blood only, and the doctor
Oh.
could not make out what was the reason. X-rays did not show anything for them. Even the sputum test and all for tuberculosis, they did not show much result. So doctors thought it was because of my hemophilia, and factor was given the whole year, 11th class, my whole year I spent into hospital. The darkest Diwali. Diwali, we have the festival of light. If you might know
Mhm.
about it. So I saw the darkest Diwali in my life. I was a 17-year-old boy, and my age friends were actually carrying their parents to market, buying things and all those things. And here I was admitted in a ward and lying on the bed with drip being given, and my mother is sitting there. The day where every world out there was enjoying. So that was difficult, right? So again, that was the weakest point in my life where I thought that I should now go, right? But see,
Mhm.
here I am. I survived. So it took 1 year for the doctors to diagnose that I had right pulmonary tuberculosis. I was a bleeding disorder patient and had an infection that caused tuberculosis and pulmonary tuberculosis that almost took my life so many times in a year's time. Right? I saw my parents beg to people to give blood, donate blood, such that I could survive because my hemoglobin was so low. So, but
Mhm.
I survived. I survived. So there I realized that my life will not end in this way. Misery is not going to end my life. I'm alive for a purpose. So my search for that purpose began. Why am I alive? So that started when I was in class 12. So that journey began. I wanted to be a researcher because I'm a hemophilic, and there is only some treatment available. There isn't a permanent cure for this disease. I knew only about hemophilia, that to be a very complicated disease and it would take life, right? People could lose life, and the parents could lose their children. Even I have lost my elder brother. My parents had lost it before my birth only. He was 8 months old, and then a younger brother who was again 8 months old. He kept on crying. Parents took them to the hospital, and they came back with his body only. So we have seen losses at our home, in our life. But so what
Mhm.
I had decided that nobody else is going to feel or suffer from the same loss. If treatment is available, it has to be given to everyone. Everyone deserves to live. They deserve to fulfill this beautiful life. They need to see this beautiful life. So, but how, I did not
Mhm.
know. I did not know about it. So I began I put myself into that I need to be a researcher. I want to work as a researcher. I want to bring out the cure for this disease. And that brought me into, let's say, fast forward into my master's dissertation. I went to SGPGI Lucknow. There in medical genetics department, I was doing my training, and there I saw another rare condition where a child was there. And the doctor took the parents out, and since I was the trainee there, he cited my help there. So that child was crying, but no sound was coming in. There was a clap, so the child could no voice was there. So child is crying, we can see the tears, but we couldn't hear it. So there I realized, and I thanked to God, thank you so much. You have given me voice to cry. You have given me voice to actually tell about my pain. There are so many pain or problems out there in the world which are far greater than what I have gone through. I have suffered, and this is my purpose, to help those people also, right? So again,
Hmm.
I am educated. I have masters in biotechnology. I have research experience. I have research paper published. I have books published. I have worked in corporate. I give training also. But again, the life is uncertain. The biggest certainty in life of a person with rare is uncertainty. You never know what would happen the next moment. Let us sleep. Let's say if we sleep today, we don't know whether we are going to open our eyes tomorrow or not, or we are going to be in the same health or not. That is the biggest uncertainty, and you need to be happy and live the life with that, right? And I'm qualified. Yet again, let's say if I'm suffering from problem, I need factor injections. For that, we need to go to the hospital. Again, without government support, the treatment is very costly. It's not possible. And privately, if you want to do it, even if you are some billionaire out there, until unless you are running a factory for that medicine, you will be bankrupt in a few days or a few months time period. So it is
Hmm.
very difficult to maintain the treatment without the government help. And why should government help us, right? We are not here to get sympathy from anyone, but we are part of the society. We can contribute to the society, and that is why everyone who is rare needs support, right? See, let's cite an example of a flower. In your garden, you work in a garden. There are flowers in the same area. They have different colors and they bloom at different time periods and different environmental conditions or different seasons. Each individual is like a flower too. You need to give them the right environment. And then you can see that those people who are born with those special gifts will bloom and give you the productivity that you have been looking for. From there, see, this power in me is from there. Never giving up in life. And then I have found my passion in life. I have found my passion. That keeps motivating me. And that is the power. That is the power.
Wow. Whew. That's intense, man. That is
That is
very
that.
intense.
I get it.
Wow. And how amazing that you have. He's going to go back. He's going to go out and come back in. I think he's on Wi-Fi. But wow, how amazing is it that he, at a child, as a child, okay, and we see it all the time. I mean, I have a brother of mine that worked with raising money for children with brain tumors. Children. It's so sad. The innocent ones that have no idea what's going on, and then all of a sudden they're inflicted with something. They have no idea what it's about, and then everybody gathers around, like Manoj was saying, to nurture the flowers that are in the garden. And we have the power to water those plants, to nurture the soil so that those flowers, whether they're on this side of the garden or this side of the garden, so that they can flourish as they so deserve. So, wow, incredible. So, I'm going to take Manoj out right now so that he can refresh. I'm going to send him a message real quick. There we go. Refresh and relog in. So, what a crazy story, huh? Wow, amazing. Such an amazing story, pulling that power within, you know, to like, this is not what my life is going to be about. And that's what he's talking about, to help people find that power within. And I think that that's probably one of the most difficult things in life to do, because, you know, if people don't have that experience to have to fight for their life, then it becomes very difficult for people to understand what that experience is like. And so they can only relate to that in terms of their own life circumstance and their own life struggle. So this is sounds like what Manoj is doing, is to sending a message and sharing his story so that people can see that, you know, there's more to life than laying in a bed, feeling sorry for himself, suffering unnecessarily. Well, maybe not unnecessarily. He was suffering because of his blood disorder. I see him attempting to try to get back in. However, he's not quite there yet. So yeah. So isn't it interesting? Really interesting. What an amazing story that this gentleman has shared with us. And where he's going, hopefully we can get him back on, because I want to know what his driving mission is right now, where his vision is, rather, and what his strategy is, to see where he's going to take it. And we're here in the Self Achievement Network to support all of our members to reach for their goals, create their vision, create a strategy, and get to where they want to go, to evolve their passion. So not sure yet why he's not quite there. Nope, not yet. Let me see if I can chat with him here. Yeah, I think he's going to do it. Refresh. And vote with the. I'm sure he knows what to do. There's two people out there. So guys, what do you think of that story? Wow, crazy. Can you imagine being a young person, young boy or a young girl, and then finding out that you have a blood disorder, an internal, okay? This is not external. This is an internal bleeding disorder. Whew. Unbelievable. Wow. So, okay, here he's trying again one more time. Not quite there yet. There he is. Okay. Manoj, I can see you, man. Let me bring you. You're on your mobile?
Yes, I'm on mobile.
And you're on Wi-Fi?
No, it's a mobile network.
The network. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're always challenged a little bit by that. I was just recapping a little bit about what your story, about your story, and I was saying that I'm hoping that you're coming back, because I want to know what your vision is now, and what your strategy is to continue to do the work that you're doing to help people. I also said that it's interesting how so many of us have never had a real difficult, life-threatening situation to be in, to have to reach in and pull out that power to struggle for our life. So what is it that you do or say that gets people that it inspires people to reach in and pull out that power?
See, the first important thing is I tell them my story, right? I tell them my story, that how I have come out of it. I do not have to say anybody else's story here. I tell them my story. Listen, if I have not given up in my life and it is a beautiful life, I say that, my dear friend, you are gifted, and you too have power within. And now let's find your gift, because when I talk about power I know my gift, right? And when I talk about power in Dominic, we need to find that power. If Dominic already knows it, we need to work on that power. That how it
Right.
is going to change and bring a transformation within that person. Because once we have realized our gifts, na, it is actually so very joyful. Even if people do not believe you, and sometimes what happens, you are tagged as someone who is arrogant and a stubborn individual who is not ready to listen. The thing is, when you know your gift, you know your potential, right? And you can perform at that potential all the time. And you know it, I can achieve it all the time. This is the potential I'm capable of achieving. And when you have set in your mindset that, see, today is my potential this, but I'm not born with just a limited potential. A bit of a spirituality comes into this, that we are all divine and divine has unlimited potential. So we learn each day, every day we learn. We learn from each one. So even if a child has something that is positive and is constructive, listen to a child. That may change your life. I
Yeah.
believe in that. And when we talk about every religion, see, every religion talks about us being souls into this body. And forget about relationship we have. Let's say if my father is there, I'm son, and there will be my son in future or my daughter. They are younger in age, but we all are souls. Remember that. That soul which has actually born as my child may be an older soul than me, is more wiser than me, right? So listen to what the soul which is still being unaffected by world taboos and mind. We are training mind, not heart.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you talked about connecting mind and heart. When I talk about power within, it is the connection of mind and heart. We take right decisions, we understand our potentials, and then only we can be dedicated to what we want to bring about. that that only will lead us to our passion, and that passion will drive us each day. And this is what drives me each day, even if situations are bad. See, there are people, I before we connected, I took 20 minutes, so there was some technical problem, server problem, net problem. So, but again, uh, I never gave up. Somebody, I had one event coming up, because let's say you wanted to know my vision, how I want to help people with prayer, right?
Yeah.
It
Talk
is
about your vision.
linked with, yes, it is linked with that. See, as I told you, people with rare condition are not able to get a complete education, the education whatever we have in our society. They are not able to get a formal education. There is difficulty in school levels, entering at the school level. If you're not able to go to the school all the time, you have to study at home. I had to do my majority of time. I had to be at home, sitting with my books, and actually those things helped me, because now words are my friend. Uh, Give me anything, and give me some time with that book or words. I'll tell you exactly what it means. So it is
Hmm.
not difficult for me. I understand that. I understand the vibes of word, but not everyone similar to me under the same condition would come out and have the same mindset. So it is the time. What I'm trying to do is, people with rare condition, along with that, other people also, they are also going through some suffering and they have problems in life, right? So my target was design something for the weakest section of the society. And people with rare condition who have uncertainty in life, they are the weakest section in the society, because they cannot even plan their financial, because you never know. Today they are okay, tomorrow they may not be okay, and they have to visit the hospital multiple times. So whatever savings they had from the bank, that has to be taken out and has to be spent for the medication and treatment. So uh, so the thing is, you need to keep them motivated in life, and you need to have some source of income also for them. A dignified life is what I aim at. for everyone who is rare and their family members. They don't have to feel bad about having someone who is born with a rare condition in the family. They don't have to hide it. See, one
Mm.
important thing in our society is everyone who is born has to get married and has to have a children, right? So this is something that is universal truth. A human, everyone has to have it. Let's say you are someone who is born with a rare condition, and your family does not want to tell it to your prospective wife, or you hide it from your prospective wife. What would happen to the life later on? Cannot imagine it. You may have fight, or if she compromises, then she lives with that compromise. It is a gloomy situation. Would you be
Mhm.
happy? So again, if you tell the truth, because people are ignorant, they do not understand it. They think otherwise. What would happen? What would not happen? The taboo. They are okay if something happens after marriage, but if someone is truthful of saying something about their condition before marriage, how many people are going to accept it? So the
Yeah.
important point is we need to showcase how capable a person is. So even if a person who doesn't have that much education, the health does not allow them to go to office or being employable for, let's say, 20 plus days of working in an office scenario. But again, they can be productive. Let's say if they are productive in 15 days, again that productivity is lost if you are not helping them. So
Mhm.
I realized that creativity, I'm a science guy. For me, lab is my first love. Research is my first love. I always wanted to do it. But I realized my purpose, life's purpose is something else. It's not just to do that research or sitting in the lab will not help. So it brought me to thinking and do things that I would never do. So creativity was one field where I found out that your education does not matter. And today, without if you are a good poet, let's say you write good poetry, right? Or you are good in writing stories, or you have a good sound, a good voice, and you can sing well. So
Mm.
these are some things that could give you recognition, and you can make a living out of it. It is possible. And
Yes.
I think 2020 COVID-19 coronavirus, it is a gift actually to help people realize that sitting at home also you can work, and people who are unable to come to the office can still be productive. See, these people who are unable to travel, you used bike to go to your working place, to your factory. These
Mhm.
people are dependent on public transport or somebody else to help them move about, right, for a longer distance. So give them an opportunity sitting at home. So 2020 is a lesson for the mankind. What I
Mm.
have been trying to do is, I think it's a divine blessing that now a world knows, the corporate knows that the person can be productive even sitting at home.
That's
It is the
true.
talent that needs to be utilized. The skill
Right.
sets needs to be utilized, and
Mm.
this is what I'm trying to do. And I started a platform. I registered my trust Power in Me Foundation, as I told you that I believe there is power in every one of us. We need to create the right environment to help them realize it. So that is what my trust
Exactly.
is looking forward to, and that is what my trust is trying to do. And in that, we are focusing on the health, because health is important. And along with the health, education, livelihood generation, and environment. Every one of us lives in environment. If any drastic thing happens to the environment, it will affect everyone,
Right.
irrespective from where we are. And along with that, many of the patients or rare condition, because my most of the work comes for people with rare conditions. They are into, let's say, tier three cities, or lesser known cities. In bigger cities, still doctors know about it. But again, in rural area, very few people know about it. Let's say somebody is suffering. When I talk about India, there again, they might say that it is past karma that is coming in, or someone has done something, and many rituals are done. People take out, they cheat you, they take out money from your parents that will do something, and your child would get well. So this is how things are happening. So again, financial issues are there in the rural area to people suffering, and their family cannot come out to the urban area to get their treatment and medication. So rural development is also a part of the agenda of our trust, that we need to be there.
Mhm.
People in rural area also deserve to get right information and right opportunity. So, keeping creativity at heart, I started a platform called Ruhe Mohabbat. There we support creative talents in poetry, music, singing, writing, dancing, acting. So we are supporting them, and already we have a pool of creative talents coming in. And I had conducted few events.
Oh, yeah, we lost him. Oh no. Okay. Wow. Compelling. Amazing. This man has got fire coming out of his ears and his eyes and his nose. He's fired up. So wow. He started a foundation. He got a couple of books. He is on a mission to share his story and to inspire people. So he certainly has a purpose, and he is out there getting fired up every day doing what he wants to do, which is to support people and living their potential. That's awesome. So we've got him back. Okay, we will conclude here just in a moment. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Very good.
So
Okay, back.
yeah,
Welcome.
yeah, thank you so much. So, just before the lockdown happened, I had conducted some offline events where people from hemophilia only, because I am more connected with those people, those community. So I got few people to sing, perform in the event, and the people liked their song. And there is one boy who is into comedy. So see, people who are suffering themselves, who are sad a place, but they can make people laugh, right? So they performed there, and people are seeing them. And along with that, recently I conducted an online event where we had one performer from hemophilia. He wrote a poetry and even recited it. So the world out there are able to see them, and I am able to give them the confidence. See, you are at par with other people with the same abilities. You just need to understand that you have this power, you have this gift. So I'm just trying to work that thing out.
Wow. I'm going to give you 5, dude.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Whew. What a crazy story. I mean, that is amazing. And what you're doing is so needed in the world. There's so many people, I'm sure, that have the same, the same condition, and they have no idea where to go. So make sure,
Yes,
okay, when we finish, make sure that you leave the links to this, and I want to invite you back so that you can continue to share your story, the updates with whatever's happening out there. Please
yeah,
come back
definitely.
and share that. We have many, like I said, we have many hubs out there. We can, we're more than willing to support your efforts. This is just great stuff. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Well, amazing story. So, okay, well, I'll let you go finish your evening. And I want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for being our person behind the passion. And we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much, Dominic, for giving this opportunity and helping me reach out to more people and sharing them my story and my passion. I hope more people will realize, and those people with the rare condition, if they see this our interview, this video, they will see. I know they will realize that they have power too, whichever part of the world they are there.
That's right, exactly. And I will invite you to my life plan group because there's many people in there that also we're striving to reach in and pull out that power. So
Yes,
we'll get together.
definitely,
And
definitely.
when we're finished, I'm going to post the audio podcast for this. Okay, this is the
Okay.
video.
Okay.
I'll upload the audio portion so people can listen while they're driving their car.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, definitely. So share the links with me, and I'll share with my friends also.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manoj. You have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.
Have good dreams. Stay safe.
Thank you. Yeah.
And keep
Thank you.
pushing on, man.
Thank you so much.
You are
Yes.
an
Thank you.
inspiration.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, and thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.